Welcome to Friday Morning Dharma on July 24th. Question, answer, and discussion morning. Before we get into some discussion and some questions, why don't we do a little bit of meditation? We can settle into a comfortable meditation posture. Feel free to bring to mind the image of a mountain. Allow yourself to settle and to rest. The job of the mountain, if we want to call it that, is to silently observe in a place of non-conceptual awareness. No judgment, no labeling, no comparing, no expectation. Simply resting in silent wisdom awareness. And for our meditation practice this morning, we can mount the three-word mantra on our breath. On the inhalation, silently recite the word rest. At the top of the inhalation, silently recite the word relax. And on the inhalation, silently recite the word allow. And please repeat this sequence for the next few moments. Allow the world to be as it is. Allow everything in the world to be as it is. Allow every single sentient being in the world, without exception, to be as they are. Allow your body and mind to be one. Complete liberation from all conceptual extremes is the supreme monarch of views. Boundless vastness is the supreme monarch of meditations. Being directionless and utterly impartial is the supreme monarch of conduct. Self-liberation beyond expectation or hope is the supreme result or fruition. Now, please gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of your physical body and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Become aware again of the weight of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of your physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, becoming aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. And we dedicate all of the positive energy, all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception soon come to enjoy a state of complete, perfect fearlessness. May all beings without exception be completely free from all forms of emotional and physical suffering. May we all soon come to enjoy inner and outer peace and inner and outer freedom. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Thank you very much. And that little excerpt at the end of our meditation was Talopa from the Ganges Mahamudra.
It's amazing.
Pardon me?
It was amazing.
It's really powerful. One of my favorite sections from that text. Yeah. Okay, you guys, here we go. Questions, comments. Let's do this thing. Yeah. Anybody? And you Zoomers, feel free to unmute yourselves and ask away.
I have one.
Yes, Don.
I have many, but we'll start with this one. And you may have gone over this in an earlier class because I joined at the beginning of the Lamrim meditation series.
Right, right.
But I'm hoping you can clarify what you mean when you talk about sensations in the inner body.
Sensations in the inner
And
body.
my question is twofold.
Mhm.
So I have a hard time finding the tingling in my feet and hands. Am I thinking about I'm hungry? I got an itch in my knee. I've got a cramp in my toe.
You do
Those
think
are
about
those
those
are the
things.
sensations I find in my inner body.
They are the sensations you find.
So am I meditating on that? I guess I'm confused. And then my other part of that question is when you introduce the lamb rim part of the meditation,
Mhm.
you talk about that, rest in that while continuing to meditate. That gets me to like, okay, am I doing this? Am I doing that? Am I meditating? Am I resting? So can you clarify some of that for us,
I'll
please?
try. Excellent, such excellent questions. Thank you for that, Don. Um, Something that those of you who participate in the Medicine Buddha meditation know that when we do that practice, um, we I make reference to the fact that we have an experience of the fact that our body and our mind are not separate. When we bring our awareness to a sensation within our body, whether it's our toe cramping or your stomach gurgling or what a hair follicle, whatever it might be, there is consciousness at that place. Okay, there is consciousness at that place. So, I mean, I'm not able to identify where consciousness ends, where the observation of sensation ends and physical body begins. There's consciousness at that place. So I just said that doesn't answer your question. I just bring that up to say that's one of the main points of this for us, of this practice, is for us to experience non-duality of mind. It by definition is happening. For most people, it starts out observing sensations with the physical body. My rear end hurts from sitting here for so long, or I've got a cramp in my toe, or what's another? My
I'm
knee,
hungry.
my knee hurts. I'm hungry. My stomach is hurt. It usually starts out with the physical body, observing sensations with the physical body. After time, and I probably could have, maybe should have brought this up sooner, after time, the parts of the body that through which we observe sensations become more subtle, right? In the tantric teachings, actually, there's reference to the gross body, not grotesque, but like overtly manifest, like bones, blood, skin, internal organs, and so forth. These are aspects of what are referred to as the gross body. Okay. There's also what's called the subtle body and the very subtle body, but we'll leave that for another time. The subtle body consists of things like chakras and channels and prana, okay? Prana, internal energy winds. after time, after time, through with this practice, we will start to, it'll happen naturally. Please let it evolve naturally. Like, don't force, okay, I'm tired of meditating on my toe cramping. I want to bring my awareness to a subtle part of the body. That will come of its own accord, right? And then the question, the question becomes, I'm trying to explain too much now because it will sort of evolve of its own accord. It will, the practice, aspects of the practice will be revealed. Like you won't find them or you won't create them or give rise to them. It will be revealed to you. If you're patient enough and you stay with the practice, the answers, the insights will be revealed. So, yeah, stomach, hungry, sensations of hunger, um, toe cramping, maybe at some point tingling within the fingers, yeah, and feet and hands. And eventually the physicality just sort of like fades away. And all that remains are sensations and awareness observing those sensations. It's, how Chogyam Trungpa would answer that. Chogyam Trungpa, a colorful, uh, colorful figure in Tibetan Buddhism, he would tell his students, go to this hut for a month and you'll figure it out, you know. And that's not a wrong approach. Sometimes it just takes experience. It just takes staying with the practice and the insights will be revealed. What was the second half of your question, Don?
Where do we put the mind when you tell us to continue to meditate on the inner body and sit with this awareness of whatever the Lamrim meditation is?
Right. That's one where we have to figure it out, where the answers will be revealed to us because it's such a good question. And I'm sort of, yeah, I'm happy that it's come up now. Um, Resting with a feeling or a sensation or an insight or an intention while meditating on the inner body is Mahamudra. That is the Mahamudra practice. What is Mahamudra? Having a direct experience of the thing, of the object of meditation, right? I say over and over, a conceptual understanding of the thing is not enough. And Reggie Ray puts it this way: existential change, like moving from being an ordinary being to an awakened being, from being an impatient person to one who patiently accepts, one who moves from a place of attachment to non-attachment, from ignorance to wisdom. These forms of existential change happen through experience, not through intellectual understanding. Meditation on the inner body is a means of us experiencing. And that's part of the thing. I mean, you're on the right track, Don. Now that I sit with your question and process this, it's like what, like this inner body, like these sensations on the inner body. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Exactly. It like shuts up the thinking mind. And that's kind of the same thing about the breath. This, the whole point, the whole point, a really important piece of this. And you guys, please, if only one thing registers with you, I hope it's this. It's that insight meditation happens when the thinking mind ceases. That's the purpose of a koan. For those of you who are familiar with Zen, what is the sound of one hand clapping? The thinking mind freaks out. Success, right? We've shut up the thinking mind. The breath, the breath. Observe the movement of your body as you inhale and exhale. And observe the sensation of air moving across the tips of your nostrils. Try to identify while you're inhaling where the inhalation ceases and where the exhalation begins and then ceases. The thinking mind is like, I can't identify it. I can't identify the specific spot. Perfect. The breath, as long as we're alive and kicking, the breath never ceases. That freaks out the thinking mind. It's like, the thinking mind can't cope or can't deal with this seemingly permanent thing called the breath. We can't identify like sensations in the body. Is that physical? Is it subtle body? Is it like toe cramping? Is it a sensation, the origin of which I can't identify? Yes, yes, that's right. All of the above. Whatever it takes to cease the thinking mind so that we can start experiencing rather than thinking about. That's where all forms of meditation go. That's where it all goes. Who else? Yes, Will.
This is regarding the 4 questions that you emailed us this week
Yeah.
about whether the world revolves around us and we as the center of the universe.
Let me just go back and try to recount those 4 questions. Question 1 for us to ask ourselves, do I regard myself as being at the center of everything? And Tabitha, I need to get your email so I can include you on the list. Question 1, do I regard myself as being at the center of the universe? Question number 2, if so, is that a valid view for me to have? Question 3, if so, is that a beneficial view for me to have? 4, is it a sane view for me to have? Is it sane for me to regard myself as being at the center of everything? So please continue, Will.
So I was reflecting on that, question number 1 in particular, and my own personal experience has been embracing Buddhist concepts like sunyata and anatman, which is no self, the emptying of self, and there's no inherent I. And I embrace that and I experience it in my meditations. But what do you do in the case where, given the US-Iran war, you have bombs dropping all around you? How do you maintain that mindset of non-inherency, non-I, when bombs are dropping all around you? It seems to me that the world begins to revolve around you when you have a bomb headed for your head. So that's my question.
Sure. So a little bit of tough love coming here, like just a little bit of a warning. So I taught a class years ago at Will up on campus, Western Institute of Lifelong Learning. And we were talking about the practice of patient acceptance. Patiently, stuff that you guys are familiar, patiently accepting whatever arises, having abandoned the notion that things should be other than what they are. And a person in the audience of that Will class said, so are you telling me that if I walk out of this room and I'm walking across the parking lot and somebody comes at me with a crowbar and wants to hit me in the head, that I should just patiently accept that? And I said to her, I said, is people chasing you with a crowbar, wanting to hit you on the head, something that happens to you often? And she said, no. I said, has it ever happened to you? She said, no. And that's my question to you, Will. Are bombs being dropped on you now? No.
If I shared the experience of the world around me as we're all one,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, that's a different question, and that's a different meditation.
Okay.
But for right now, in the maybe a more appropriate application of the question of patient acceptance for the woman at the will class was, does your husband get on your nerves when he says things that you don't like? The answer was, I would guess, probably yes. Better chance of that being her reality than somebody coming out trying to hit her in the head with a crowbar. The Dharma isn't about intellectualizing. It's about changing our lives. It's about changing ourselves, who we are, so that we suffer less and experience more peace, which in turn benefits those around us. So you're talking about the shared experience or the non-duality of you with the people in Iran who are experiencing bombs. Yeah, maybe the better meditation for you is to continue with your emptiness of self in relation to maybe homeless people you see when you're walking along San Vicente Creek. Maybe that's a more immediate, more accessible way for you to experience the emptiness of self, to actualize emptiness of self, while simultaneously developing empathy and compassion for the unhoused people that you might encounter on a daily basis here in Silver City. That's kind of
I have a question, Jeff.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Yes. Thank you for your question, Will. Yes. Go ahead, Marty.
I thought at length about the last thing you said yesterday about patient acceptance and patient allowing.
Yeah.
And
And just one quick for everybody else. I asked the question at the end of yesterday's meditation. Is there a difference between accepting and allowing? Like wholeheartedly accepting whatever arises, having abandoned the notion that things should be other than what they are, that accepting and allowing things to be as they are. Is there a difference between those two? Go ahead, Marty.
well, as I pursued this thought, I decided that there was a vast difference between them. And, by training, I was an attorney, so I tend to like overthink things. I'll say that to start with. But the first thing that struck me was permit is a synonym for allow, and yet it is not a synonym for accepting. And I think that permitting and allowing something is at a very deep level, very different than accepting something. Accepting something for me seemed to imply um, surrender in the good sense of the word surrender, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of accepting.
Mhm.
And allowing still had room for resentment.
Mm.
You can allow something, but you can still say, "Hey, oh, well, fuck this," But you can't say that and really accept something. So
Mhm.
I was just curious where you were heading with that question because to me, they were very, very different ideas.
Yeah, yeah. It's there is no objective reality. Like I can't tell you, Marty, that your comparisons are invalid, because we have different minds, we have different experiences.
Right.
Kind of my just one person's experience of that. And I was contemplating it this morning. I love the question, by the way. Allowing things to be as they are versus accepting things as they are. for me, subjective again, accepting feels more proactive to me, feels more proactive as opposed to allowing, as in allowing things to be in their current state in this moment, allowing them to be the only way they can be, which is as they are, feels less proactive to me. And in this quest to try to think less and experience more, less proactivity is better. That's just one per Jill, yes.
I was actually gonna say something similar to Bonnie, but in the sense that to me, the word allow means out of the goodness of my heart, you may do this.
Uh-huh.
Where it's not like me, like accepting means I will accept the situation. It allows kind of sounds funny, like you allow the kids to play outdoors or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, maybe it's the way the word affects me, but I find that word kind of negative.
Thank you for sharing that. And it kind of gets to what Marty was talking about permitting, giving permission for something to happen. Yeah, I can see that too.
Accepting seems more personal, like you've taken it on,
Uh-huh.
like allowing feels like I'm separate from it.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
I never thought of it that way, of the permission and kind of the separateness. Really good stuff. And it makes a beautiful point as we close. I think that what, 4, 7, 8 of us here and 5 of you all online, 6 of you online, 6, 8, 14 different experiences of this question because we all have 14 different minds with 14 different sets of experiences. So 14 different realities, it's beautiful and helps us, I think, develop a more solid appreciation for the basis of the statement. There is no objective reality. It's all subjective because we all have different minds based on different sets of experiences. 9:03, you guys. Thank you. Excellent questions. Excellent questions. Thank
love
you
Q&A.
so much, everybody. Yeah. More Q&A to come. Have a good weekend, you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jeff.
Jeff.
You're most welcome.